but we're going to move on with building stronger schools. Angela, go ahead.
Okay. I'm not comfortable with the mic, but I'll do it. All right. I am going to be very short, so you guys can get out of here. I love presenting last because everybody's tired and wants to go home. So thank you for having me. I was supposed to present, I believe, in February. So I didn't change my slides, so you don't get the whole comprehensive finale of Building Stronger Schools team, but I'm certainly happy to come and speak to you guys another time if that's what you're looking for. So Building Stronger Schools team, this was our third and final year of that work. And so some of you have seen this before, and for some of you, this is brand new. So when we started the work, we were really looking at how to strengthen compassionate systems within our district. And I used as my framework, this comes out of Puget Sound and the work out of University of Washington, who are kind of acknowledged as international experts in this field of trauma-informed practice and compassionate systems. And I thought, there's no sense reinventing the wheel. So there are 10 components to a compassionate learning community or compassionate system, whatever words you want to use. So this was the work of Building Stronger Schools team. So schools could access us through a variety of ways. And essentially what we came to be, I liked, one of my colleagues said, you're kind of like the SWAT team of the district, which I thought was an interesting term, but maybe did describe what we were doing. We're in trouble, can you come and help? Right. And sometimes the trouble was just, we don't know where to go next. We feel like we've exhausted things. And what was foundational for us is that alongside work. So I didn't want to just parachute in. I didn't want to send a document, here's the next steps, right? We wanted to come and work alongside the staff. So the team was built with myself as a principal, and then I had a teacher, Sarah Hefner was my teacher this year, and then we had Arlene Norris, our youth care worker. So we were representing at each union or each working group. And it actually has been a very beautiful thing. So I really appreciate the opportunity for us to do this work with schools. But those were where we focused. Sometimes schools didn't know what they needed from us or what area they were looking at. So we would come in and just sort of talk to everybody and do some observations. And we chatted with staff and I chatted with principals, and we sometimes went back to them and said, here's where you are. You're looking at supportive school climate, or you're looking at safety and assurance of well-being. And then we supported for as long as they needed us. And sometimes that meant coming in on a daily basis and working alongside while QP staff were maybe looking at how to support a particular student. And sometimes it was looking at the bigger picture. So do we maybe need to tweak our discipline referral process in our school because the communication's not clear, or those kinds of things. So we delved into all those areas. So the ones that are highlighted in blue, those were the areas that we supported in this year. And it actually makes sense with once COVID hit, this was where people were living and what they were needing. They were really needing understanding trauma and learning. And we spent a lot of time in there, and behavior and emotional regulation. Those are the two areas where we spent the majority of our time in supporting. So the next slide just kind of talks more specifically. Oh, and there's like missing words, so thank you. So we, this year we worked on an ongoing basis with 16 schools. The major focus being on trauma-informed systems and supports. We supported in every elementary school at some level. So sometimes it was just a phone call and, hey, can you talk me through this and what my next steps might be? And so we supported in that way. And sometimes it was shorter term. We would just come in and maybe do some observations and offer some suggestions and then pop back out. But with 16 schools, we worked for the entire year. So there I had an additional consultation with 15 schools. It was majority was around safety. And the reason for that is the next piece, which is Arlene, Nora, and myself are the certified trainers for nonviolent crisis prevention through Crisis Prevention Institute. And so we have a team response. So when there is a safety concern in a school, Arlene and I are the response. And we offer training. We also offer looking at the safety plan, developing safety plans around students and staff. And then, as you can see, we offer collaborative planning around staff and student safety. In terms of professional development, last year, Arlene and Leah Workington, who was the teacher with me, did a book club on Lost at School by Dr. Ross Green. And it is really looking at shifting our mindset and shifting the lens through which we look at behavior from students. And to sum it up, basically, Dr. Green's stance on that is, it is a can't, not a won't. And so it's like any other thing where a student is struggling to learn a skill, we have to teach it. And so rather than looking at it, like Aubrey mentioned, as the blame falling on the student, it is a lagging skill, a missing skill, and we're teachers. So we're uniquely situated in learning, in teaching students how to do those skills. It's unfortunately, though, not something that we learn as we learn to be teachers. So teachers are learning along with us as we figure this all out. So they did a book study, and it actually was very well received. They had 60 participants, including custodians, and so it was quite a beautiful group of people. This year, one school asked to delve deeper into that, and so Arlene and Sarah have been continuing to work with one school, and they've gone into the collaborative problem-solving framework that Dr. Green offers. We provide nonviolent crisis intervention training to all staff in the school district. And we started to do some trauma-focused schools training. And then Aubrey and I have been meeting to look at how we can sort of start spreading that district-wide. So that is it from Building Stronger Schools.
Wow, a woman of your word as well, too.
Yeah, no,
short
and
wow.
sweet.
Thank you. Any comments, questions? It's a couple minutes before 6.
Go ahead, Trustee Becker.
Well, now that the funding is coming to an end, I'm wondering how well the skills that have been learned over the last 3 years are embedded to be able to carry on, or what are you feeling with moving into the next year without the SWAT team?
I think we've started the conversation. I think COVID was hard. It was a challenge for us to really move that work forward. I think Aubrey did an excellent and very eloquent job of discussing with you that, you know, staff actually were struggling with taking more on. And this does feel like more. In working with staff, we're really trying to help them understand it's actually just different. It's not more, it's different, but different is still hard. Different still means a mindset shift. It still means sort of, it's work. It is looking at our belief systems, our philosophies. That's really deep and hard work. And so we've started it. The conversations have been opened. I am planning to continue the work I've been doing. I will continue in that vein. And so we'll have to see how that goes. I'm not, you know, I will admit to being somewhat concerned how one of me will do it, but I think that we've got good plans and the things have started. And so on the plus side, Sarah and Arlene, wherever they end up, the district will continue to benefit from their skills and knowledge, and schools will continue to benefit from that. Sarah is a teacher leader. You can't stop her. She'll just keep doing it and spreading that word. And same with Arlene. And so, and now the team actually gets bigger because now we connect with inclusive ed and we connect with Indigenous ed, and we just are growing it. I hadn't met April really prior to this year and the work we're doing. And so it just keeps kind of rippling out. And so I think that's what's happening.
Well, thank you for this amazing work, Angela, over the 3 years. We've all been impressed to see the growth of it and how important it was for the development of skills in our schools for people to be able to intervene, be supportive, recognize trauma. I think it's been just a huge growth for our school district. And I thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Trustee, and good question. Yeah, really hopefully carrying that work forward, even though, perhaps the money may not be there. But we've started it, and you're right, with the knowledge that is gained, we can continue on in that vein. Yeah, so thank you.